So just a quick tutorial on how to factor a complex trinomial. And just a reminder, a complex trinomial is any trinomial in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where the a value here is not equal to 1. So it's another value in front of that a value. So it's not a simple trinomial. So let's start off with an example. Let's say we're given 3x squareds minus 13x's minus 10. Our first step always is look to see if there's a common factor in all three terms. No common factor here, so we go ahead and say and recognize that this is a three-term question and it has an a value that's not equal to 1. So that's a complex trinomial. So we're going to do this using decomposition. And when I use decomposition, the first thing that I want to do is I want to determine a set of numbers that multiply to negative 30, the combination of the a and the c term. So I'm looking for a set of numbers that's going to multiply to negative 30 and at the same time is going to add to the middle value here. So it's going to multiply to negative 30 and add to negative 13. And so I like to set up a little chart over here to see what that might be. And I'm going to start listing all the values that I know that will multiply to negative 30. So that's negative 30 and 1, negative 1 and 30. If I add either of those, neither of them are going to add to negative 13. So I could have, let's see what else. Oh, I know, negative 10 and 3 and negative 3 and 10. If I add negative 10 to 3, I've got negative 7. That's not the number I'm looking for. And negative 3 plus 10 is positive 7. That's not the number I'm looking for. Let's see what else. I have negative 2 and 15 and negative 15 and 2. So negative 2 and 15, that gives me positive 13. Negative 15 and 2 gives me negative 13. That's the guy that I'm looking for because he matches over here. So this is our winner right here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this middle term and instead of writing it as 13x's, I'm going to write it as minus 15x's plus 2x's, which also equals minus 13x's. Then the 3x squared that was at the front is just going to come back in where it was. And the minus 10 that was at the back is going to come back in where it was. And all I've done is rewrite this minus 13 as negative 15x plus 2x. Next, what I'm going to do is I am going to take a look at just these first two terms here. And I'm going to see what common factor there might be there. So looking at 3x squared minus 15x, the common factor I can pull out is a 3 and an x. And I write the leftovers in my brackets. And what's left over is x minus 5. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to take a look at the last two terms. And I'm going to say, what's common in 2x and minus 10? And the thing that's common is a positive 2, and I have x minus 5. Now, notice that there's a sign here. That is something that often gets forgotten, is this sign right here. You either have to have a positive or a negative there, depending on what you factored out. Okay, next thing that you'll notice is that if you've done the factoring correctly, you're going to have a factor in each term that's the same. So the x minus 5 and the x minus 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that out in front now. That's now my common factor, x minus 5. And what I'm left with then is our 3x and our plus 2. Okay, this is completely factored. Let's just double check to make sure that this takes back to the original. So I'm going to check by foiling it out. So I'm going to take x minus 5 and 3x plus 2 and I'm going to expand it. So the x is going to multiply the 3x to give me 3x squareds. The x is now going to multiply the 2 to give me 2x. The minus 5 is going to multiply the 3 to give me minus 15x, and the minus 5 times the 2 is minus 10. And simplifying that, I get 3x squared minus 13x minus 10, which is what I had originally. So I know I've done it right.